In today's episode of the podcast, I'm sharing with you my appreciation for the quiet genius that is Japanese knitwear design. So, if that sounds like your cozy cup of something, get comfy and let's dive in. Hello, and welcome to the Wool Needles Hands Knitting Podcast. My name is Tayler, and I will be your host. Today, I want to share with you 4 Japanese knitwear designers and a design from each as a way to showcase the beautiful craftsmanship behind Japanese knitwear design, but also as a way to tap into this kind of obsession I have right now with Japanese creative culture and just Japan in general. I've really gone down a rabbit hole. If you watch my last video, you know I've kind of gone really deep headfirst down this Japanese culture rabbit hole, and I'm here for it, and I wanted to tap into that a little bit as it relates to my knitting obsession as well. And something that Japanese knitwear designs share or have in common is this really lovely poetic precision. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they're very structured or that they're very contrived, because they can be very flowy and effortless and lightweight. And when I use the word poetic, I mean that. It's all just very lovely and eloquent. You can tell the roots are in the meticulous craftsmanship. It embraces structure without stiffness, elegance without the extravagance. I think what makes Japanese knitwear design stand out to me is not just the technical brilliance, though there is absolutely a lot of that. It's the restraint. There's a thoughtful simplicity. The entire finished garment drapes like it was meant for a body and not just that it was made or tailored to fit one. And I think that that's really special, and it sets Japanese knitwear design apart from others, and I think that's really special. I feel like Ravelry can be really full of loud designs that are trying to push the envelope of what kinds of new techniques you can put in, what kinds of things you can add to make it splashy and make it different and make it unique, and kind of challenge the whole notion that nothing, that you can't repeat anything and have it be original. With all of that in our face all the time, I think designs like these remind us to slow down and pay attention to the craftsmanship, pay attention to how well the item wears and how much you want to wear it. And I'm ready to share with you 4 designs from 4 Japanese knitwear designers that you may or may not have heard of, but I'm hoping open the door to a rabbit hole of opportunities for you. So let's get started. And okay, before I get started, I'm sorry, I have to address this very loud green sweatshirt that I'm wearing that seems a little discordant from what I'm talking about today. I'm wearing this sweatshirt. It was my St. Patrick's Day sweatshirt. I popped it on this morning because it was the quickest grab on a really early, chilly morning. And I just feel like this color, I don't know. I kind of like this color, and so I'm wearing it because I like the color. It's making me happy and it's comfy. So I'm wearing this bright green sweatshirt. We're talking about subtlety. We're talking about, reserved simplicity. And here I am with a shamrock green sweatshirt. You know what? Hey, I'm really pushing. We got, matcha here, which is green. Just go with it. All right, the first designer I want to share with you guys today is Reiko Kuramura. She's a Japanese knitwear designer. She has 26 designs in her Ravelry pattern store, and they all have something about them that's special, that you can tell is a thoughtful design element that makes them stand out, but all of them are also very wearable. A couple of my favorites from her collection, the first one being this one here called Jamming. This is a snood or a cowl, and it has this really amazing texture. When you first look at that, it has, to me, it has brioche vibes to it, but it's not brioche. It's called rickrack stitch. It says down here that jamming is a cowl or snood using rickrack rib, It's so simple but effective texture and warm. I hope it will be a last minute knitted gift. Hope you enjoy. Bonus, guys, this is a free pattern, by the way. It uses sport weight yarn, no more than 360 yards. There's 2 sizes, a medium and a large, and I think it is just absolutely beautiful. Look at that. It has this really neat kind of border at the bottom and the top. You can see it kind of right here. It almost has a picot looking edge to it. It's very subtle. I love this. Very subtle and classic, but it has a really interesting texture to it, and I think it's fantastic. Another design by Reiko Kuramura is her Ryo sweater. You guys, look at this. It's lovely. It has this really lovely kind of chevron stitch that goes down the front and over the shoulder panel as well. And then look at this. Do you see it along the back right here? It's little things like this. This is a sweater that's very wearable. It's very simple, but it has these design elements that cause you to pay attention to the garment. It's special and unique without being in your face and loud or too much. There's restraint here, and I really think that's awesome. You can tell it has a little bit of an androgynous vibe to it, a little bit of a menswear look, and I love that. Classic textured pullover sweater. This looks like it is knit and it's seamless with a saddle shoulder construction. It's seamless, knit in one piece. But then there's parts that are worked flat. It says Ryo is a simple seamless pullover but the construction is very unique. Shoulder saddles are worked directly after neck rib and short rows. Then stitches are picked up to form the front and the back. They're joined at the underarm and worked in the round to the bottom. The sleeve stitches are picked up and the sleeve cap is shaped with short rows, then worked in the round from the top down. Caliper cables adorn the front, back yoke, and sleeves to the neck with very flattering vertical lines. So those are called caliper cables. That is so, and this color as well. It's lovely. I really love this. So this is Reiko Kuramura, and these are two patterns that stood out to me, but definitely check out her others as well, because I think that there's a unique characteristic to each. And she has shawls and cowls and sweaters, and so it's not just one type of design. I think it's great. Okay, on to the next. Okay, next we have Yumiko Alexander. She also goes by Dando or Dando Designs. She was born in Japan and she lived there until her late 20s. Then she married an American and moved to Chandler, Arizona. She's actually a resident of the American Southwest like I am. I think that's really cool, but she is a Japanese native as well. And her designs, it's really actually interesting knowing that she now currently resides in Arizona, because I feel like her designs, and you can see them here, they have this really lovely simplicity and elegance that you see with a lot of Japanese knitwear design, but they have an asymmetry and almost like I don't know what you would call this, like a foliage inspired aesthetic to them as well that speaks, to the Arizona landscape. I think that that's I can see that in the design here. I love that they look reserved and simple, but they're, like I said, with the asymmetry that you see here, it makes them fun and flowy and playful and really, really unique. This one right here called Joinery, I mean, this is amazing. We're dabbling with asymmetry here. We're dabbling with multiple textures, but it looks very intentional. It does not look like what it could look like if it isn't handled properly, which is like a craft project gone wrong. Remember that episode of The Cosby Show where I think that, oh my gosh, I can't remember who it was, if it was Denise, but somebody was trying to sew a sweater for Theo, and no, not a sweater, it was like a shirt, and they were trying to replicate like a designer shirt. Is this a shirt they're supposed to think is important, Gartrell? And it wasn't, whatever. Like, this could go that direction, but when it's being handled by a professional who knows what they're doing and knows how to be reserved in their design process, because it looks so high fashion, but also very wearable and very simple. And I really love that. She has a lot of really great designs like that I'm all about. This one in particular, this is the one I really wanted to show you. It's very simple. We've seen similar designs to this. It's kind of like the flowy t-shirt that you wear over a tank top in the summertime, but there's something about this that just feels, I don't know, it just feels good. It looks like it fits her beautifully. The drape is lovely. It has this little it turns out at the sleeves right here. Do you see that? It's so thoughtful. And then look at this one. Maybe it's because she just knows how to style it, but please, it's so beautifully bohemian while also being very simple and wearable and intentional. And I think it's fantastic. Let's look at some of these other ones. Here we go. This is more very, very bohemian. Lots of different textures and colors going on here. We have some different lengths going on. Yeah. She looks like the art teacher everybody wants, right? The cool hip art teacher that dresses like, I don't know. I love that. I love everything that's happening here. to be honest. Look at this. This isn't something I would typically gravitate towards personally, but seeing it here, these stitches and the overall design, it just looks so elevated. Yeah, loving this. So this is where you can see kind of that reserved nature, that restraint, but it doesn't also have to be boring and overly simple, because this is anything but that. We have bohemian here. We have very eclectic here. We have a mix of textures. We have asymmetry, but yet everything feels still very restrained, very intentional and thoughtful. And I think it's great. So this is Yumiko Alexander. Okay, this next designer goes by the name of Michiyo, and she is a Japanese knit and crochet designer, and she lives in Japan, and she has some amazing looking designs. So we're really getting a lot of that oversized kind of silhouette you see with some Hirose, what is it? Oh gosh. Hidori Hirose, I believe, is another Japanese knitwear designer who really kind of goes all in on the oversized designs. We have that here. You see a lot of that going on here. Real wide silhouettes, big, deep sleeves. But then you also see some things that are a little bit more structured. And then we have some really cool hats. We've got children's clothes, and then she has handbags that I think are really lovely as well. I thought there were a lot of interesting designs in here, things that I haven't really seen done before, and I really appreciate that. One in particular was this one here. This is the mesh and frill vest. This is one that I saw. This is, I believe, yeah, this is a knitting design. This is available in a book somewhere, so this is not available for download. I have another one of hers that is available for download, and I'll share that in just a minute. But this is an example of what can happen when you have texture, when you have, you know, a unique silhouette or sleeve shape. You have the ruffles on the sleeves. Everything is very oversized. But when you look at this, there's definitely an element of restraint. It has a simpleness to it, something that you can wear and it doesn't scream ruffles. It doesn't scream overly textured. It's just very subtle. And I think that that's beautiful. And I think in that color, it's gorgeous. I want to go back because there's another one that I saw that I thought was really cool. It was an interesting way to design, or an interesting design for a pretty familiar style sweater. And it's this one here. It's called the Hugo. It's your very familiar kind of Breton style top with the nautical stripes along the center body of the sweater and the sleeves. But we're also pairing that look with a cabled sweater. And not only that, we have a turtleneck up here, or kind of more like a wide, I don't know, like a wide funnel neck, if you will. But the whole thing, it's putting all of those together. You've got that wide funnel neck, you have a raglan sleeve construction, you've got the Breton top look with the stripes, and then you have the cables. And what's really interesting is the placement of the cables. Now the cables could have been done, you could have put the stripes up here on the yoke and then the cables down below. But I feel like if you had done that, it would almost look like there's too many ideas going on at once. But strangely, when you put one on top of the other, or you commingle the cables with the stripes, it just looks very original and it works. And I think that it's such a cool play on on actually two classic sweater designs. You've got your Breton top, or kind of like your more nautical sweater, and then you have your Aran cabled sweater. And I think it's a cool way to meld those two together, and you get something really special. And look at these sleeves. You know, thought goes into that. You know, somebody has really thought about how this is going to look, what the execution is going to be like, and it looks like they fit lovely, that there's enough of a stretch there with the cabled. But I love this. It's beautiful. I mean, look at this. It's really very lovely. So this is called the Hugo. It is a $7 download. It is available in English. It uses 1,329 to 1,900 yards of DK weight yarn. And I think it's cool. I think it's a very interesting kind of combination of style elements or design elements. And I think it's really cool. And this is by Michiyo. So you can check out her Ravelry store, see what else she has going on. This one is my favorite. Okay, I think my favorite of all of these was this next designer. This is Eri Shimizu. And what I love about her designs are the play on structure. Every design that I see has a play on structure, or maybe even like lack thereof if something is supposed to be much more effortless and it doesn't have structure. But if you start with just this first sweater that she has here, the Haruno cardigan, we have a cardigan that obviously has a very distinct structure. She has lovely texture built into this. There's care and thought being put into the way this is going to fit on the body in terms of its structure. But yet there's also a really lovely effortlessness to it. This particular design doesn't have buttons here. I know a lot of her cardigans, looking through her patterns, she likes to use buttons, which I think is fantastic, and it definitely lends itself to that element of structure. Here, it's a little bit more playful, especially with the color, but you see that there is intention here in maintaining structure while also maintaining the whole effortless look. Like right here, we have the stitches that run perpendicular to the fabric right here with this really lovely rolled edge on the sleeve. You have the same thing happening over here between the brioche rib or the fisherman's rib and this lace detail and the stockinette, which I think is really lovely. No buttons, so it isn't going to be quite that structured, but it just looks like it fits really, really well. It has this really nice swing style hemline and silhouette going on here, and it just lays nicely. So this is the Haruno cardigan, but if we go back, here we have really lovely buttons. The little yarn cardigan is gorgeous. No buttons here, but again, we have really good structure. So you know that this is going to fit really well, despite the fact that it doesn't have buttons. I never button my cardigans anyway. I know people do. I never do. I really love the way this looks. Again, structure, as you can see here with the seaming, but something really effortless and cozy and comfortable about this. That requires thought. That requires precision of design in order to pull something like that off. And you can kind of see how it fits beautifully, but looks effortless. Structure. It doesn't always have to be seamed. It doesn't always have to be sewn together and knit in pieces or whatever. You can do this seamlessly. The front and the back are joined and worked flat down to the hem in one piece. Sleeve stitches are picked up. Everything. Okay, so it's kind of everything is contiguous. So you're not knitting pieces and seaming them together. You're picking up stitches. So you have this feeling of knitting seamlessly, but it's thoughtfully done so that it does provide the garment structure. I notice a lot of that with some of these Japanese designs, and I really appreciate that. Let's go back because there was another one I really wanted to share that I loved, and it was this one. This is the Dijon polo. I've seen polo sweaters knit. I know Petite Knit has one. I want to say the Knit Pearl Girl has one, and they're both fantastic. When you can find somebody who can design a really lovely pullover like this that has the polo collar and the little button placket here, and it all is carried off really effortlessly, in my opinion, that's fantastic. I've yet to knit something like this, but I think it's just, like, look at that. I love that. I love that color. I love those buttons. I love the black crinoline skirt that she has on. It's fantastic. It's thoughtful. It does have some structure there. We got some really nice kind of ruching on the sleeves because they have a little bit of a balloon sleeve look to them. Kind of looks like the sleeve is knit straight and then just narrowed down right before the cuff. It's fantastic. So this is the Dijon polo. That is also available for download as well in English and in Japanese. All of them that I've shared with you should be available in English and Japanese, and you can download them. Well, there you have it for Japanese knitwear designers and some lovely patterns designed by them. I hope you enjoyed this. It was my first video, theme-based video since I took a little bit of a break, and so I'm getting my momentum back. So pardon me if I'm a little scatterbrained, but I'm getting back there. And it was nice to hang out with you guys today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you soon with another video. In the meantime, happy knitting, happy making, happy whatever it is that you're doing. Take care, be well, and I will see you soon. Bye.